Clint from 50 Campfires here, and today we're looking at a $10 hammock that you can get on Amazon from a company called Gearup. So hammocks become more and more popular every single summer. Maybe you don't have 80 bucks to drop on one, but you want to be heading out to a park somewhere with your friends so you can chill out. $10 hammock here, we're going to take a look at it right now. We're going to find out if it is garbage or will I end up recommending it to you? I don't know. Company's called Gearup. The hammock is 10 bucks. Says that they have everything in here to hang it up. I have not opened this yet. Looks like it comes in a halfway decent bag. Let's go ahead and open this up. All right, so right away, right out of the gates, I like the carrying case. And it also looks like the carrying case is plenty big, so it's going to be easy to get it back into the case later, which I love. So let's take a look here. Carrying case is attached to the hammock. Pretty common setup. We got a whole bunch of instructions here on how to hang it. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's a nylon hammock. I'm kind of surprised that it's 10 bucks. That's pretty cheap. So, right out, so, I mean, the nylon feels pretty good. Kind of scratch it a little bit and it feels pretty tough. What it comes with to hang. Okay, this is kind of what I was expecting. We have a clip here that's gonna work just fine. And we just have a piece of rope about this long. The way that this is gonna work, obviously, is we are gonna unhook this from this eyelet, okay? And this is what comes with it. You're gonna run this through just like so, okay? And that's gonna cinch up around a tree. The only problem with that is that that's gonna limit you to the distance that the trees need to be apart. You're gonna have to find the exact same distance pretty much all the time because you generally want about 35-ish, 30, 35 degrees of hang so you can lay in your hammock the correct way and be the most comfortable. And the trees that I have out here that we generally use for testing hammocks are a little bit further apart. And I have some hammock tree straps set up here that I use quite often. And so to kind of test this thing out, I'm not gonna use these straps, but they seem to be just fine. The straps would be, based on the length of these, you need to be, I'd say probably right around 12 feet from tree to tree, the distance. So now I will note that this company Gearup does have hammock straps for 13 bucks. So $13 isn't bad. If you're gonna do any amount of heading out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, of heading out in your hammock, you're gonna want to get hammock straps at some point. A lot of companies make them. $13 is an awesome price. I have not tested out the Gearup ones, but that's a pretty good price. So there's a lot of rope on the end of this. It's a pretty crazy knot that they have. And on their box, they're like, make sure the knots are all really tight. The weight capacity seems to be about 400 pounds for this particular hammock, which is pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and test this guy out. So one thing that I noticed right away is that there is a fair amount of sag in this. There's a fair amount of stretch. That I don't like all that much. That tells me that after a couple years, it's gonna start to develop a couple of weak points here and there. Generally a hammock that is a little bit more expensive, my favorite hammocks are a little bit more rigid, allows them to retain their shape for a longer period of time. Not too bad. It's not too bad, I gotta say. I can get just about darn near flat here, laying askew. I didn't bring a pillow out, I usually do. What's the verdict on the $10 Gearup hammock? It's pretty hard to beat 10 bucks. Here's the thing, and I often give this advice with kayaks or other things where people don't want to kind of spend the top dollar amount going into it. If you fall in love with hammocking after one summer of it, then you can go ahead and spend $50, $60, $70 on a nicer hammock and a better setup that's going to be a little bit more rugged. Would this work to get into it and spend a summer hanging out with your friends here and there? Yes, I would say this is an excellent purchase if you want to check it out. The Gearup hammock, I think you're easily going to get one summer out of it. Maybe a couple years out of it if you treat it really well. I would say 2 thumbs up for the Gearup hammock for 10 bucks.